Ice Cream and Red was founded in 2008 with the aim of creating planet-friendly goods and empowering people from disadvantaged backgrounds. The company creates bags from recycled seatbelts, reused cars, and furniture upholstery, as well as rejected fabric sample books. Now, joining us from our Cape Town studios to tell us more about this business venture is the founder of the company, Zaid Philander. Good to have you with us today, Zaid, and thanks for making time. When I initially read the name and title of this company, I was a bit taken aback because I thought ice cream as in the dessert and red. But give us a perspective as to what the background of this particular entity is.
Okay. Well, firstly, we design bags made from recycled seatbelts, reuse upholstery, and then we teach people with disabilities how to make them. We also teach people from disadvantaged communities. And so that's kind of what we do. The most important part is that we set these people up with the equipment and they work from home. So they get to work on a flexi-time basis. In a pressure-free environment, so it's not someone sitting in a factory just trying to, finish off units. So we take pride on the fact that all of our products are made in an environment that is really conducive, so our products are made with 100% love.
Zaid, as with all entrepreneurial ventures, it starts off slow. At what point did you decide to turn this into a full-time venture?
It was actually quite recently, about maybe 2 to 3 years ago, I decided to go a bit more full-time and full force on it. It was usually from the time of, back 2008, I was still a student, so it was usually my second job. It was generally a second job all the time. But yeah, I decided to go full force recently, based on the fact that we were making lots of sales and was becoming more sustainable, so yeah.
Talk to us about how your business model actually works, because I can imagine for a startup, it's not always easy finding your feet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, firstly, we work with the city of Cape Town and different kind of disabled organizations or organizations that focus on disabilities, and we train people from the get-go, and we provide them with the machinery, and they basically get trained on how to make all of our designs within their homes. Beyond that, they then have the option of starting their very own business. So after a certain amount of units that they create, which we call milestones, they would then be able to own the machinery. So there's that direct empowerment that happens where it's no longer property of Ice Cream and Red, but they actually have control over the machinery and it becomes theirs as they keep on sewing. Those products that they make, the products that we need them to make, they get a portion of the funds for, but we encourage them to do, or start businesses, their own sewing businesses within their own spaces. So, for example, I have a woman in Delft, and she now does bridal wear, now that she's been trained through us. I know another guy, and his expertise is making bean bags, and he sells that on the markets. I have another woman in Bonteville, for example, and she started teaching other women in her street how to sew, and she's generated an income from training others. So that's quite also a very cool story. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your market, your target market. How has it been received by local markets, and where exactly where are you selling the product?
Currently, well, I mean, in the early stages, I used to just sell at, normal markets,
Okay.
Like these pop-up venues, etc. Just earlier this year, I prefer pop-up stores because, it creates a limitation and people get excited, so we actually we sell more because people are, limited to, we will only be here for the next 3 months. So we've had a pop-up store at the V&A waterfront, in the watershed. We currently have a flagship store, which is a independent designer collective store in Woodstock. It's called the Threads Project, number 349 Albert Road. We focus a lot on corporates, actually. We are trying to get more corporate entities to start purchasing planet-friendly goods. So, when it comes to conferences, we offer them to design bags or make bags for them. And we use the recycled linings, which is flags from the city of Cape Town, or even a nice exchange that we do is also a lot of corporates provide us with banners or flags of their own, and we turn those into bags and they hand that back to their staff as corporate gifts. So yeah, we cater towards big and small. Our main target market would probably be anyone that needs a bag. There's no limitation. We have all sorts of products. We have yoga mat bags. We call the belted doggers, and those are people that are gym fundies. We make bags for all sorts of backpacks for your student or your traveler. So yeah, our target market is anyone that would need a bag.
To close off with those, Aid, looking at future growth prospects and opportunities in the market, as you say, no limit to the number of people that could pick up some of your products, but what does the future outlook for Ice Cream and Red entail?
Currently, right now, I don't think we are driven just by sales. I am actually working towards opening up a sewing center of our own. So how it works before is that we have our teachers go out into the communities and training people within their homes, and that's great. But for the offset of training people, we would like to do that more closely and in one area where we could train 5 to 6 people at the same time, or 15 people. So we're working towards trying to fundraising towards a building, creating a sewing center, which would also create awareness about disability and how people understand or relate to disabilities. And it would be a workshop space and an office space, so that's the big plan for now. Otherwise, we focus a lot on exporting, and our intention is to export even more. But we would like to create bags for South Africans by South Africans.
Creating bags for South Africans by South Africans. That was Zaid Philanda, the founder of Ice Cream and Red.